We have Gloria who said, I don't follow science, I follow Jesus. Actually, I do follow science. You know what? Science doesn't even follow science. That's why it's called science. Let's just get real, right? Science always defies its own science. Why do you think evolutionists keep changing how old the earth is every, 7 years? They keep changing how old it is because they keep saying we find new things. So they just defied what their old thing was. You guys remember the AIDS pandemic? The epidemic of AIDS and how bad that virus was, the AIDS virus.
It's going to kill everybody.
It's going to kill everybody. You can't even like sit on the toilet seat. I remember those commercials so vividly because everybody was freaking out. Oh my gosh, if you touch something that an AIDS victim has, you're going to catch AIDS. If you sit down in a toilet seat where an AIDS victim has, you're going to catch AIDS. All this other stuff. Now we can take pills for it. It's treatable. Magic Johnson overcame it, several others, right? And, all these things. And there was this giant, but they never shut down any areas or anything. If New York was now what it was back then, it is shut down.
Yeah.
Because you remember that's where a lot of it was coming from. It was like the bigger urban areas and not suburban, but urban areas were coming out in huge droves. Now it's like, oh, it's just AIDS. It's okay. You can get treated. Some people it's advanced and all that stuff, but now you can get treated. It's, that kind of thing.
And the perception for AIDS was that anybody and everybody could get it at any time, no matter what. Like they didn't know. And you had Oprah going out and basically saying that, everybody's going to have AIDS. You get AIDS and you get AIDS. Everybody gets AIDS, right? Some of you will get that. Some of you won't. But then they started to figure out that it was a very select requirement and select group that AIDS was mostly affecting. Are you going after the homosexual? No, it's just 94% of AIDS cases are homosexual sexual relations or drug related. Okay, so that's a very select group. Margie going to the store and touching the can of beans is not going to get AIDS, right? And so as they figured more out and they figured out that this is a much more narrow scope of things, they realized, well, okay, it's not the massive, dangerous epidemic we thought it was or pandemic that we thought it was. Now, fast forward to coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And if you actually looked at the statistics and you look at the percentages from the age ranges, you go, this isn't lethal for people that are under 65. Even over 65, it's not that lethal. Now, is there a high percentage? Yes. But notice what we've done is because we fear it, because we've been told everybody could die, we have to shut everything down. And we give up our rights to the government.
Thank you.
Hand over fist saying, just do what you have to do in order to make sure that I'm protected.
Let's ask a question too. Why is it that we ran to shut down our church and not the Lord, not trusting God? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not.
Making a point to that, at the end of the year, there was a study that just came out that showed the only group of people who felt emotionally improved and mentally improved over the course of the year, church-going folk.
To that, you know why? Because in community is hope, dude. When you're down, you need your friends, man. Don't trust the TV set. Are you crazy? Look, I was just asking my boys today what they want for Christmas. I was just telling my son this. Listen. He goes, Dad, I want this. I want a PC for Christmas. Why? Because I'm a gamer. Okay, great. You want to do games? Fine. What do you want to do with it? I want to be a YouTuber. Fantastic. You have a Nintendo Switch you barely use. Why? I already beat those games. I don't really want to play games anymore. So I'm going to spend how much money for you to say in a year it's over? Because they only temporarily fulfill. How many times do you say that about a friend, a real friend, or Christ? Each other? Why do you think I don't trust government, man? It's not even government. These people in government are just like you. We got to get that. They have no authority. Even when they say, oh my gosh, did you see what the government did today? So what? Stand against them. So what? They have no authority over you. It takes you to resist it. It does. The only thing that's going to change it is resistance. And I'm not talking about a resistance where you're on the offensive of destroying people's property. I'm talking about resistance in I'm not going to allow you to take away my freedom. Mm-hmm. I'm just not doing it. And if it takes me going to jail, dude, guess what? Then that's what it takes. But doggone it, this is not about you. And we should say that every podcast. Matter of fact, that should be our new tagline. It's not about you. This is not about you. Do you realize in the future, our kids are going to not be able, if this continues, they're never going to be able to stand up for themselves because they're going to be afraid
Mm-hmm.
of a boogeyman all the time. Something's going to get them. Oh my gosh. Dude, back in the day, they weren't afraid of a thing. And if they were afraid, they went to their knees and God gave them courage. That when a British army came up, they stood up and fought. Some were
20 to
afraid.
1.
Exactly. And they stood. That's what we need to be teaching our kids. So what if there's a virus out there? We're not saying to be stupid. We're saying don't be afraid.